The big secret of the back bend, in addition to what I've described to you, is that the femurs never rotate out. Rotate the thighs in. There are many postures, like if we start doing standing poses, where you might lose that sense in the middle of the body, especially if you do the posture incorrectly. But the upper chest should never lose that sense. In Parshvakonasana, in Trikonasana, in Ardha Chandrasana, in all of the standing poses, you are not doing a back bend. Some people do a back bend from the waistline. Don't do that. But the upper chest remains in a back bending position. In the very process of lying back, if you are on a sticky mat, it would help. See that the skin at the back drops towards the pelvic floor. Use the friction of the mat to drop that skin towards the pelvic floor. In your imagination, see that the breath still does the same thing. On inhalation, the front of the body lifts towards your head. Not a physical struggle, just a gentle lift. On exhalation, in the back of your body, where the friction of the mat is helping you, that energy drops towards the pelvic floor. Forward bend, I have said several times, that forward bend begins by rotating your femurs in and begins in the lowest part of the body. Don't begin forward bend by dropping your head and going down. It begins in the lower body, around the head of the femur. That's where the forward bend begins. Where does the back bend begin?
In the crowns of the head?
The feet.
Same occipital area, that's where the back bend begins. Okay. But you don't drop it to create a congestion here. You lift that area as you go. So here is what I'd like you to do. Watch Andrea first. Andrea, please stand here, slightly away from the wall if you want. Rotating the thighs in. Lift like I'm supporting you here and I'm pushing your sternum up from here. I can't put my hand under her sternum as it were, but that's the sensation. And then come up retaining that same sense. And as you do that, watch a very primary mistake. You are throwing your femur forward, top of the femur. It may go forward slightly, but you should have a sense, just like as though you are in a forward bend, that femur should touch the back of the leg. If you keep the femur back like that and the pelvis tucks, there is a sense of inner height just in front of your tailbone. That height should go right behind your sternum. Without bending the knees, take the head back. Don't throw the pelvis forward. Don't throw the femur forward.
Okay.
So I inhale. On exhalation, I go back. I inhale. On exhalation, I come out. I put my hand here, not choking her, but on her collarbone. Now, I want you to go towards the back bend, but keep lifting me up. So that inner height never drops. And come back. But that should be the sensation. Okay, if I put my fingers on my collarbones, I want to go in a back bend, not collapsing my chest here at all. Rather, I lift the chest. Don't have to drop very far back. Get this sensation to be correct. As though a heavy weight is pushing the collarbone down, and from inside your sternum, you're lifting against it. Retain that inner lift as you go. Pull your collarbone down. This is your collarbone. Put your fingers there. Pull it down. Against that, lift the inner body. Retain that sense. Inhale, exhale, go. And again, take the femur back and come out, keeping that sense. Once again, understand. You inhale, lift, go back without bending the knees, touch the wall. Do that 2-3 times. Then when you are ready, keeping the head there, bend the knees in the process, take the head a little lower down without lifting the head up, straighten the knees to come up from the sternum. That straightening of the leg will make your feet heavier. It's from the heaviness of the ball of the foot that you come up. The big secret of the back bend, in addition to what I've described to you, is that the femurs never rotate out. Rotate the thighs in, rotate the block down as it were, by rotating the thighs in. Lift the pelvis up. Support the pelvis if you want with your hands. Keep rotating the block down as you lift the pelvis higher and higher. Now, after you do that position, bring your feet little closer to your head, lift the heels up. By lifting the heel, lift the block and the pelvis up. Rotate the block down to bring the heel down. So throughout that action, continue this sensation that somebody else helping you rotate the thighs in constantly. Watch, and pay attention. When you lift your heels up, if the weight on your foot drops near the small toe, you are rotating your thighs out. Your heels may move further away from each other. Watch my foot. This should not inflate outwards. So when you are doing a back bend, if you watch my feet, when you do the back bend, if this happens, you are inflating your aorta. You want to keep the weight more on the inner border of your big toe. So that arch always is indenting inwards. You do that by keeping your heels wide away from each other and keeping the weight much more on the ball of the big toe. If the weight drops on the small toe side and your heels move towards each other, you are inflating this arch. So even without going into a back bend, I'm lifting my head so I can look at you. But even without going into the back bend, if I lift my heels up like this, I want to have the weight like this, not this. You lift the pelvis more, lift your heels and walk your feet towards the wall. Now, when you walk the feet back, see how much weight has dropped on the small toe side. Keep the weight on the bigger, inner border of the bigger big toe. But in the process, you are moving the heels to each other. Move the heels away from each other, indent the outer top arch in to keep the weight on the inner border of the big toe. When you bring the heel down, rotating the outer top arch in, when you bring the heel down, lift the pelvis more. Begin by keeping the inner border of the big toes in, the outer top arch is in, and lift the pelvis. When you lift the arch, you are tending to do this. When you lift the arch, keep the weight on the inner border of the big toe, ball of the big toe. Keep the heels away from each other. Now, as I lift the heels up, I lift my pelvis. To help myself, this is the way I learn. With my finger, I touch the pelvis, the pelvic, the hip bone. When I bring the heel down, I do not want the pelvis to go down from my finger. When I bring the heel down, I lift the pelvis more. I keep eyes, ears, tongue soft, and I breathe out to do it.